Listen, I understand the excitement of when you're learning to crochet and you go to the craft stores and you're walking around and you see all these fun gadgets and tools and fancy yarns and fancy crochet hooks, and you just are like, well, I know I'm going to want to crochet, which I get. So I'm just going to buy it all. Well, fast forward to a couple months later, maybe you decide you don't want to crochet, or you don't crochet as much as you thought you would, or you decide you didn't want to turn this into a business like you thought you did, and now you're saddled with a bunch of things that you didn't need in the first place, and you spent a bunch of money you didn't want to spend. Now, here's the thing: crocheting is a great thing. I highly recommend it as a hobby. It's not for everyone, but I think it's definitely a good time. But you want to make sure that you're getting things that you're actually going to use, and that if you decide you don't want to crochet later on, no big deal. You didn't spend that much money in the first place. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about all of the things as a crochet beginner that you don't need, but may want, but you don't need it at first. We're going to talk about all of that. Before we get started, I just wanted to say welcome back to the channel. My name is Jessica Telford, or Jess Telford here on YouTube, and I have been crocheting since I was 11 years old. I also run a small crochet business called Sugar and Spice Crochet. I'm a mom of one 2-year-old and one on the way, both boys, and it's crazy over here, but we still find time to crochet because it's what keeps us sane. So I'm going to inspire you to do the same, as well as get you started on your crocheting journey. So to start, this video is going to be about all the things that you don't need as a crochet beginner, all the things you don't need to buy. Just a reference, I did already previously make a video about all the things that you do need to buy or do need to have as a crochet beginner. So if you do want to reference that video, that's already on my channel. But for today, we're going to be focusing on all of the things you don't need as a crochet beginner. So let's get started. Today, I'm going to be walking you through 5 items I don't think you need as a crochet beginner. Those things are going to be high-end hooks, yarn winders, specialty yarns, large storage systems, and stitch markers. Just a quick disclaimer, I do own all of these things, but as I said before, I've been crocheting for a really long time, and so it made sense for me to spend the money on these things. And also with my crochet business, it made sense for me to have all of these things because I'm basically very committed to crochet at this point. But as you're just starting out, I would start with smaller things and less expensive things, more budget-friendly things to get you started on your crochet journey. So the first thing I'm going to talk about are high-end hooks. Now, I do have a high-end hook. It is an ergonomic furls hook. It's beautiful. I love it. I use it whenever I can. But the thing about these hooks is they are kind of pricey. I paid about $35 for one single crochet hook. For reference, you could go to a craft store or even the craft section at Walmart and find a pack of various sizes of crochet hooks for $5 or less, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's how much they are. But paying $35 for one singular hook is kind of a lot, especially to start out with. And so what I would recommend instead of the high-end hooks, like I said, you can get a pack of the multiple packs or the multiple size packs of crochet hooks. Or what I would recommend, even to save your space, is unless you know you're going to be using all the sizes of crochet hooks that come in the pack, just buy the one singular size you need for the project you're going to be making, so that then your collection doesn't get too big too fast. The next thing I'll say is a yarn winder. Now, I do have a yarn winder. It is an electric yarn winder, and while it was not very expensive as far as yarn winders go, I think I got mine for $40 on Amazon. And while I do use it in my business, it's not something you need as a beginner, because you can always, if you have a little bit of yarn left after a project, you can always wind it into a ball. You don't need any special equipment for that. And so I would say you don't need a yarn winder to start out with, even though they are great to have later on. The next thing is specialty yarns. Now, specialty yarns are going to be things that are fancier, more expensive. I typically will use a cheaper or middle price yarn that I can find at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. There are some really fancy yarns, very organic fibers and mohairs and really fancy yarns that not only can be tricky to work with, but they are very expensive. And so start with a cheaper yarn. It's going to be easier to work with anyway, most of the time, depending on what kind of yarn it is. And I would even start out with just using a worsted weight or a cotton. Those are the easiest to work with when you're first starting out. There are some really fancy or some nice, like soft, fluffy yarns or velvet yarns, but those can be kind of tricky, and using those as a learning process in and of itself. And so I would recommend sticking with a worsted weight acrylic or cotton yarn to start learning to crochet with. The next thing would be large storage systems. Now, that's going to be basically what you see on Pinterest or Instagram or YouTube, which is like all those drawers with the color-coded yarns, or the cube system with all the yarns in it, those kinds of things, or even multiple bins of yarn. And now, don't get me wrong, I do understand the pull. Those are beautiful. They're lovely to look at. I have done them before. They are beautiful and can be helpful if you are running a business, or you are really into crochet and you have a room you can dedicate to something like this. But if you don't, it's kind of tricky. And especially if you're limited on space. I, right now, as I've been focusing more on my hobby yarn, is I just have a bin, like a storage tote in my closet in my bedroom, that I keep my yarns in. What I use, as I've been kind of more focusing on my hobby yarns, is I just have a storage tote in my closet that I keep my yarn and craft supplies in. It's a great way to keep things organized, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. Again, I keep it in my bedroom closet. So that's what I would recommend to you, especially as a beginner. You might not even need something as big as a storage bin, because you might not have that much yarn yet. And so just having a tote bag or whatever bag you're using to carry your craft supplies in might be enough for you, and just finding a spot where you can keep it, like under your bed or in your closet or something like that. The last item I wanted to talk about are stitch markers. Now, stitch markers are an item you're going to be recommended in patterns to use if you're doing amigurumi or any type of pattern where you're working in a round, so that you can keep track of where the last stitch is. This also might be helpful for you if you're still learning where the last stitch is when you're crocheting in rows. And they do sell stitch markers at the store. And while they're not very expensive, you really can only use them for one thing. So what I would recommend to you, and this is honestly what I started out with, is using a safety pin or even a bobby pin. I've heard of people using a scrap piece of yarn. I find that that doesn't stay in very well. And so I suggest a safety pin or a bobby pin, something that will kind of stay closed on its own. And you just put it on the last stitch that you used, so that you know when the round ends or when your row ends if you are just beginning. Again, these items have been worth it to me long term, because I have run a crochet business. I'm going to start that up again soon. And even with my hobby yarns, it's been nice. But I've, again, been crocheting since I was 11. And so it's been a long time, and I've accumulated these items over time. And so I do use them quite a bit, because it is what I love to do and what I've begun to do a lot of the time. And so it's worth it for me. But again, if you're starting out, start with budget-friendly options and just have what you need. Even if you have been crocheting for a long time, these items might not be worth it to you. So it's just something to keep in mind. There might come a time when you do want to buy these items, and that time might be when you know you're going to be crocheting for a long time, or you're starting a business or a side hustle with crochet. It would be a good time maybe to buy some of these things. But again, I wouldn't buy them all at once. I'd go one by one based on what you need. Or if any of the alternatives aren't working for you, you can always add these things if you feel like it is worth it to you. Well, that's it for today, friends. If you'd like to continue your crocheting journey, check out these videos right here, where I have tutorials and also my buying list for what you need as a crochet beginner. And just remember, the joy is in the process. Your toolkit and your skills will grow naturally over time, and it'll be a fun process, so just enjoy the journey. Well, that's it, friends. Thanks for hanging out. Bye!